Hello folks, and this is the first video for section 5.5, dividing polynomials. And when you are dividing, you subtract the exponents. We talked about this a little bit in class. So here, x to the fifth is as if you have 5 x's written down on top with 2 written down on bottom. And if you were to cancel common factors top and bottom, you would be left with 3 x's on top, so that would be x to the third. So the shortcut, rather than expanding all of those out each time, is just to subtract 2 from 5, and you'll get x to the third. If I had everything cancel out on bottom and I had x's on the bottom, it would be 1 over whatever that is. Okay, so the easiest thing to do is subtract the exponents, and wherever the extra x's or y's, whatever they are, you put it on that side of the fraction bar. So for instance here, if you can visualize, I have 100 x's on top and only 25 on bottom. So I have 75 more on top, so this is going to be x to the 75th. For the y's, I have 50 on top and only 10 on bottom, so when I subtract I get 40 extra y's, and they're going to be left on top. So my answer is x to the 75th, y to the 40th. Now it doesn't matter if your bases are variables like x and y, or if they're numbers. These 3's are bases. So it's as if the number 3 is being multiplied 30 times on top and 10 times on bottom. We do canceling. So this is going to be 3 to the 20th. We're not going to do that out on a calculator because that number is way too big. Okay. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So this is 1. Here, this whole parenthesis is being raised to the 0 power, so the answer is 1. Here, this means the opposite of 2 to the 0. So it's the opposite of 2 to the 0, which is 1. So that one's going to be minus 1. Of course, you can put these in your calculator too. This whole parenthesis is being raised to the 0 power, so the answer there is also 1. So anything to the 0 power is 1. All right. Then we talk a little bit about the quotient to powers rule. So when you're raising a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. So this would be x to the 24th over y to the 40th. 3 times 4 is 24, 5 times 8 is 40. When I do this one, I have to remember that these are assumed to be to the first power. So 3, the 1 times 2 is going to be 3 squared, x to the 8th over 7 to the 2nd, because I have 1 times 2 is 2. And these numbers are very small. 3 squared is 9, so I'm going to get 9x to the 8th over 7 squared is 49. So those ones I would do out. I wouldn't bother doing out big ones, but that one I would. All right, here I have minus 2 raised to the 5th, a to the 35th, all over b to the 20th, minus 2 to the 5th. So I have a negative number raised to an odd power is going to be negative. So this is going to be minus 32, a to the 35th over b to the 20th. If you think about multiplying those out, that's minus 2 times minus 2 5 times. And 5 is an odd number of negative signs, so the answer is automatically negative. And the last one of this type down here, we're going to raise the x squared to the 4th, so it's going to be x to the 8th, y to the 12th, over minus 2, oh, I think this is just a regular 2, that's just the way I wrote it. 2 to the 4th is 16, z to the 40th. And that would be it. So that's the first video on dividing polynomials, section 5.5.